4 p.m. East African time. You're just in time for the latest in the world of news locally and internationally here on Newsfeed on TV 47. My name is Moigi William. Let's keep you posted on the latest happenings. Now, kicking off our bulletin, Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni has dismissed claims by Kenya Kwanza leaders that the retired President Uhuru Kenyatta is sponsoring Azimio la Umoja rally, saying claims that Kenyatta and Moi families are evading taxes as a diversionary tactics meant to make Kenyans forget the hardships that they are going through. Speaking to the press in Nyahururu town, Kioni said that despite numerous promises made by Kenya Kwanza during campaigns, such as reducing the cost of living within the first 100 days in office, Kenyans still have to dig deep in their pockets to meet their daily expectations. Kioni insisted that the Azimio coalition will not be intimidated by the current administration, adding that they are going to be strong because even President Ruto himself asked for a robust opposition.
We have never gone through a scenario in this country where matatus are being withdrawn from the roads, not because of anything else, but because people cannot afford the fares that are reasonable for purposes of the owners of matatu, even repaying their debts, forget about making profits. In the era of social media, he should come up with a new way of lying to Kenyans. You cannot divert the attentions of Kenyans. Today, we have children who are still nyumbani, wako nyumbani, they are at home, and there is no hope of them joining the secondary school, whether the junior secondary school or even the old formula, the old one of Form 1, even primary. I mean, it is ridiculous. We never thought that you can lie with such hype and have no ability to get the country moving in any direction. Serikali si sukari ya kurabaramba, na si kitu ya kutembea ukiongea uongo. What we have seen them doing ni kuendesha hii serikali kama wheelbarrow. No direction, no crew, totally crewless, no plan, hawana plan, planless, ladderless, leaderless. Only God will help us in this country.
Well, elsewhere, President William Ruto has today chaired his first paperless cabinet meeting at State House, Nairobi, kicking off a major government digitization drive. A video footage released by the State House shows cabinet secretaries arriving at the State House without the traditional bulky folders, large briefcase, and files inside the cabinet room. Secured portable digital devices interconnected and attached to their files could be seen around the room. The move is expected to significantly reduce the cost of printing and enhance the security of cabinet records.
They can access .
Well, quite a significant move. Now, moving on, the 22-member task force led by retired Chief Justice David Maraga to oversee reforms at the National Police Service and Kenya Prison Service will not only engage and get views from men and women in uniform, but is set to engage other stakeholders, including public. Entering its second day of collecting views, the task force has announced it will commence town hall engagements starting from Nairobi on February, adding that policing is a collective responsibility.
But from next week, we will be having public hearings that are going to be in town halls all over the country. And in Nairobi, we are going to have 2 of them. I think is 22nd or 23rd. I'm not sure, can't remember. They will be there, and we are inviting the press and the members of the public to come and give their views. Yes.
What other stakeholders are you meeting apart from the men in uniform?
Oh yes, we are meeting very many of them. We are starting with with the police. We are starting with IPOA, National Police Service Commission. We will even speak with the ministry itself, because the Ministry of Interior officials agencies. We have invited the Attorney General, we have invited the DPP, because these are people who work together. So we are inviting them because they also have their views about how this institution can perform well. The main thing, some people are even not getting the point. The main thing is not just salaries and medical insurance or housing. Those are there and they are important. We are not saying they are not important. But the other very, very important issues that we are dealing with are the structures.
Now, switching gears to education matters, the Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Services, Agnes Wahome, says all students who scored C+ and above in the 2022 KCSE results will be admitted to public universities. More than 170,000 students scored C+ and above in the just released KCSE results. Speaking from Kangaru Secondary School in Embu County during a guidance and mentorship program, Wahome also asked students who did not wish to join universities to enroll themselves in technical colleges and register for diploma courses. The CEO cautioned parents against coercing their children to pursue courses which they don't have an interest in.
What am I good at? When you look at your subjects, want to wake up and do and enjoy every day. There are others in Botswana. We have a lot of demand in Canada.
We are here to tell the people of Embu that there is no failure in this country. From grade A to the 30,000 who had E's. The government has opportunities for every one of them. We have over 300,000 capacities to take students to the universities. And then we have over 300 institutions of government that are registered with COOPs for students to join either diploma, certificate, or artisan programs. So we are here to mobilize the candidates, the 2022 candidates, those who got their results, so that they can start looking at what areas they want to study, what are their talents, and what courses are available, and to especially emphasize the need for them to look at what government priority areas are currently, so that they can be able to choose courses that will make a difference in this country.
I would appeal to His Excellency the President to do something about the funding of the universities. All universities I've seen and visited, they have a challenge when it comes to finance, and they have a lot of debts. I would really encourage us to look at that so that we don't go backward when it comes to our tertiary education, and we ensure that the funding of the university, we actually give it a forward and we give it a push so that it can lead in what we are experiencing as a country in terms of issues of controversy such as GMO. We would like to see GMO research being led and being pushed by our universities so that we can work from research from our very own, who cannot mislead the population.
We are developing an internship program for Embu County. We want to develop a well thought out internship program. We want to look at our various departments and see where there will be opportunities, and hopefully we can be able to manage at least 100 interns per year for the comrades when they get out of college.
Moving away from Embu County, the government has been urged to support new and upcoming writers by giving them a chance in using their works when vetting books for the new curriculum in public schools. The call came from a group of writers during an authors forum at the Mount Kenya University, where they lamented the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development only considers established writers and publishers for the vetting exercise, locking others out. During the forum, Mount Kenya University students also had a chance to interact with the authors and lectures, where they were taken through the ropes to become better writers.
The government can support the writers by opening up the market for the upcoming writers, because you find the market has been dominated by the established writers, and also by the established publishers. For instance, the KICD, when they are vetting books or checking out books for the curriculum, the system should be more open, considering in terms of admitting or opening the door for the new works which are coming to the market.
I really believe that writing comes out of bombardment of ideas from one's mind, and it just needs transfer of ideas into actualization. And I really enjoy it because it's a way of expressing whatever you thought, your feelings about the environment.
If only they can get funded, starting from a great university, I think they can write. They can write with our guidance, which we are ready to give. They have already started. Some of them have already started with Kendeka, because the person from Kendeka who visited us, I took him to class, he talked to them. Some of them have already started, and we are hoping that quite soon we shall even have one of our students winning an award.
The students have got a great opportunity to express themselves, because writing as a process is a way of communicating and should be functional, and therefore, apart from answering questions in the examination, one can be writing stories about his or her own environment. You don't have to start by writing a book. You can start by writing a feature item in a newspaper. Then from there you can write a poem of a single page or a poem of 2 pages. From there you can start writing short stories. And therefore, by doing so, you are able to engage your mind.
The tragic death of Dr. Fred Omoki, who is suspected to have taken his own life in Machakos, could have been avoided if the government had paid more attention to the welfare of doctors in Kenya. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, KMPDU, has voiced its concern, stating that the death highlights the need for better working conditions for doctors in the country. If the government does not address the issues, KMPDU has threatened to go on strike. Dr. Omoki, who had been unemployed for 8 months, left a suicide note behind that detailed his struggles in finding employment.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union is deeply saddened by the untimely and unfortunate demise of one of our young colleagues, Dr. Moki Fred Wambua, who died by suicide on 27th of January 2023 in Kagundo, Machakos County, after struggling for months to seek an employment. In a suicide note he wrote to the sister, Dr. Moki described his desperations not being able to find employment and the sorrows of watching his poor family struggle months after completing his internship at Kangundo Level 4 Hospital about 8 months ago. Daktari represents the hundreds of our bright brothers and sisters who, after toiling for years training to be medics, have found themselves either unemployed or underemployed or working under precarious contracts that don't offer them any protection. The few who are lucky to get jobs narrate horrors of stories of having to pay bribes of up to 400,000. And some of the ladies also narrate how they demanded to offer themselves or to offer sexual benefits to some of these employers to get the jobs and to get the vacancies. And this is a shame. Shame. They work long hours with no leave days, no medical cover, no study leaves, and the inferior pay. The inferior employers put contracts that actually put injustice to them, that don't allow them even to participate in the trade unions, that doesn't allow them to exercise their constitutional rights. In Kenya today, it takes at least 7 years to obtain a medical degree, including a 1-year compulsory internship. The cost of training a doctor ranges between 4 to 5 million. It is sad that a nation will spend so much on training its greatest minds into noble professions and leave them to toil and to suffer without any employment.
Away from that, women across the country have been urged to grip themselves to community-based organizations in order to cultivate a saving culture through investments and loaning. Speaking during an event that brought together all coastal women community-based organizations in Mombasa, the Principal Secretary of the State Department for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Susan Mangeni, has at the same time assured the youth, women and people living with disabilities that the government has set aside funds to uplift them by supporting their small businesses. The Inua Mama Mashinani with the Jenga Taifa vision also gifted the women with a bus to help push forward their agenda.
Na muwasaidie pia kutafuta biashara, yani bankable business. Tunaelewana? Kwa hivyo mnaweza angalia mahali kama hapa Mombasa, mujiulize ni biashara gani wamama wa Mombasa wakifanya inaweza ikawainua kwa haraka, those quick wins. Alafu tutawapatia hizo pesa, but tutawatafutilia soko ya hiyo biashara.
Hii pesa wanaipata vipi? Labda zile sheria ambazo mmeweka mjaribu kuzipunguza kidogo ili mama wa mashinani apate kuelewa. Kuna mahali wamama walimu watafika, wataongea lugha ya Kimombo. Huyu mama wa mashinani saa nyingine hakwenda hata skuli. Sasa mama huyu, hata sisi kama Inua Mama tumejaribu kuwafikia mashinani na kuteua viongozi wale ambao hata wanaweza ongea lugha ya mama ili waweze kuwahamasisha, na tumeona imebadili maisha yao. Kwa sababu wanasema tunapoenda kwa semina nyingi zinaongea Kimombo, hatupati ile elimu vizuri.
Still at the coastal region, Mombasa County Commissioner Leonard Muiwawi has urged parents to provide guidance and prioritize education amongst their children as a strategy for reducing crime in the region. He has cautioned them over bad influence and drug abuse, citing that it has resulted to high rates of school dropout and intensified criminal activities. His sentiments have been seconded by Mombasa-nominated Senator Miraj Abdullahi, who has urged parents not to shy away from revealing criminals, but rather speak out on the ills of the community. Apologies for that technical hitch. Residents of Laikipia County will benefit from 2 weeks of free orthopedic treatment organized by Future Health Africa in partnership with Nanyuki Referral Hospital. The treatments are aimed at assisting 250 parents with joint and bones problem, as well as others from different areas with similar problems. Governor Joshua Irongo now calling patients who have bone problems to come out in large numbers to get the treatment, saying that the plan will also benefit the residents of neighboring counties like Meru, where Dr. Samuel Ndaya, orthopedic surgeon at Nanyuki Referral Hospital, adding that the county has many patients in need of the help after being in accidents and some even having congenital disabilities.
Kwamba wale wako na shida ya mifupa au wako na wamepata accidents, wamepata some deformities, waweze kukuja hapa na wataangaliwa, watafanywa screening wa requirements zile matibabu wanafaa kufanyiwa. Kama ni pisha watafanyiwa, watasaidiwa, na alafu dakika mwisho waweze kupata yale matibabu, na ni yale matibabu labda hungeweza kuyapata mahali ingine unless you are thrown away out of the country, uende at UK. Sasa wale kule ungepelekwa UK wako hapa na sisi, kule ungepelekwa labda Nairobi Hospital wako pamoja na sisi, kule ungepelekwa ungefikiria unapelekwa Kijabe au Kisumu for the specialist. How specialists wote wa mifupa wote wako hapa na sisi.
As we are talking now, we are seeing very many desperate cases that have been waiting for surgery for a long time. So the county government of Laikipia has given us a leeway to treat people who have NHIF and the ones who don't without a pay, either for surgery or for consultations.
And that allows us to develop our skills. This isn't just a one-way transfer from UK to the Kenyan healthcare professional, it's both ways. We learn about lots of diseases and conditions that affect Kenyan patients that we don't see back at home, and that helps with our professional development as well.
Now to the beautiful world of sports. Female golfers gear up for the 2023 Magical Kenya Ladies Open Pro AM tournament that is set to take place at the Vipingo Ridge Boabab course in Kilifi County. The competition has attracted 96 players from across the world who are expected to take to the course in a 72-stroke competition. The Kenyan team will be led by Naomi Wafula, Mercy Nyanchama, Nancy Wairimo, and Vetlab 16-year-old Chanel Wangari. The tournament is part of the Ladies European Tour and has crowned more than 250 winners with 700 championship trophies won by players from over 30 countries.
The lessons that I learn in golf, they help me because it teaches me to be patient and hardworking. My short game isn't that good, but since I know that my long game is okay, I try to sharpen like putting and chipping, so my scores will become lower. Safaricom Golf Tour has helped me in like playing these different courses like Limuru, Machakos, Royal, and